Hi, my name is Mary Kerr, and today I'm going to be talking to you about sublimation. Sublimation is the ability of a compound to skip the liquid transition state and go directly from a solid into a gas. It occurs when a compound's vapor pressure is equal to the applied pressure of the atmosphere, which is fairly uncommon, which is why the majority of compounds do not sublime. Typically, compounds that are able to undergo this process have weak intermolecular forces. And because they have weak intermolecular forces, the bonds and the atoms within the molecule are held rather loosely compared to molecules with strong intermolecular forces. And so because they're already kind of loose and moving around, it's easier for them to just make that jump into the gas phase. Here on the bottom are just a few compounds we know of that undergo sublimation. We have naphthalene, which is mothballs, and a few others. So it's typically used to purify compounds from other non-volatile compounds. And so if you have a mixture and one of them can undergo sublimation, you can set up that process in order to separate the compounds within the mixture. Oh, and then it can also be used for recreational uses, which I thought was appropriate since we just passed Halloween. But carbon dioxide is something that undergoes sublimation. It's commonly known as dry ice, and a lot of people use it around Halloween for spooky effects. But it goes directly from a solid block of dry ice into that white smoke that we see a lot of times around Halloween. So there are lots of different procedures for setting up a sublimation. This is just the one that occurs at atmospheric pressure, but they also do them in vacuums and a few other conditions. So in order to do it, you would spread the solid, likely an impure solid, on a thin layer on the bottom of a petri dish, and then you would place another petri dish in it in order to create a little relatively airtight system. And then you're going to place that on a hot plate to speed up sublimation, and then place a large beaker with ice on the top of the petri dish. So what's going to happen is you're going to heat it up. The solid that's on the bottom that is able to sublime is going to move into the gas phase, and then when the gas atoms hit the top of the petri dish that is cool because of the ice beaker, it's going to recrystallize into a solid. And you're just going to continue doing that until the majority of the solid is gone from the bottom. It's difficult for it all to be gone, but until the majority of it does so. And then you'll allow the plates to cool, and then the crystals that will be on the top of the petri dish will be completely purified. Here's a photo of this petri dish apparatus, and then also in the top right corner are impure compound that's gone through sublimation in order to be purified. These are some of the sources that I used. Thank you for listening, and let me know if you have any questions.